Okay, thank you guys. We're going to get started pretty quick here because we're 3 minutes over. And we do want to keep this to an hour if possible. This is the beginning of our Move Zoom. So really happy to see so many of you interested in your health and talking about health. And as we know, COVID has taught us that it's more important now than ever to take care of our health. So I think that it's going to be just a really good program for everyone just to listen in and to educate themselves and also to ask you what you want to learn while we're in this program. So we'll be asking different things today. Alex will be muting everybody right now.
Oh, bye, Alex.
So you can hear the speakers, and then we will ask you to use the chat box at the bottom here, so that way you can get speaker view. So use the chat box when we ask you to use the chat box to answer questions. And then he will unmute you at times when we can all talk together again, okay? So we'll do that at different times. That way we'll just kind of go through the program with you. It is a free program, so do invite anybody you want to invite. We'd love to see anybody. You don't even have to be a member of our studio or be in our studio. This is just a free program. We want to help others with their health and be responsible for their health. Also, this is Tuesdays, first Tuesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Tune in, and it's just like a little show, all right? I got this program going along with some other professionals, and I'm gonna introduce them right now, and then you'll hear from them as we go through the hour. First one is Alex. You just saw Alex. So Alex, say hi. He's our tech guy, and he'll be doing some movement segments too. We're not going to do movement segments today, any fitness segments, because we got kind of a lot to get through today. So we're going to skip that part. Sean is not on, Marquis, our physical therapist, and you can ask the physical therapist any questions you want when you join on to the program. So when she's on, she'll be on with us in January. If you have questions that are burning in your mind and you want to ask Sean, it's a perfect time to ask, and just write them down and let us know what they are. Maybe even beforehand, you can give us that, so she'd be prepared as to how to answer your questions. And you can send those to our contact us at Pilates MN. What is the Alex? What is the email there?
I believe it's contactpilatesmn@gmail.com.
Yeah.
If you have my email, you can email me too.
Yep, you can email Alex too. Great. So Alex will be our tech guy and our fitness guy, and then Marielle Rostigui, she's our registered dietitian. So Marielle, say hi. Yep. And then Maria Hansen, she's our emotional wellness coach, and she also has her master's in social work. So Maria, say hi. And then Sarah Eigenman, she did a few things with us in the studio on environmental health. They were very good. So she's going to come on every now and then, and she's actually on tonight talking about some environmental health, and we'll hear from her. And we'll have a trainer spotlight. I'm the spotlight tonight, so I'm going to spotlight my program and show you how it works. And when the trainer spotlight comes on and we're spotlighting her in a program, she or he will talk about what they do for health, what's in their kitchen. So I get to show you some things in my kitchen and just funny things like that. All right. And then Brent, he's our music therapy guy. So we're gonna break some of this talk up with some little fun music games. Okay. And we'll have other guests as we go along. We'll be bringing in as we go. Okay. And you'll hear from different trainers at different times too. We will also go through, I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'm gonna ask you to use your chat box right now. So we sent out a video yesterday on the Pilates Minnesota Pulse, and we send these emails out 2 or 3 times a week. And we sent a video yesterday about how to use the Move program. And we also put it in the newsletter today. So I'm just wondering, you can say yes or no, did anybody look at the video today? So go ahead and put that in the chat box, and I will see how many you actually got. A lot of yeses. Got 4 yeses. Anybody can just say no if you did not. That's okay. Yes, part of it. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, you guys did your homework. Right. Okay. All right. Perfect. And then let's see. Another question I would like to know is if you read the long program. So wondered if you went through that whole move. It's about a, I don't know, 13-page program. Yes, not all of it. Not yet, not yet. No. Yes, yes. Good. All right. Getting some ideas of yes to both. How many use the program and how many know a little bit about it before I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it. I'm just going to show you where it is on the website. Has anybody used the Move Tracker yet? Yes or no? Oh, no, no, no. Okay, not yet. Not yet. Yes, yes. If you use a Move Tracker, was it helpful? Next question. If you use the Move Tracker, was it helpful? Okay. All right, that's perfect. That's all I'm going to ask right now. All right, so what I'd like to do is show you where these are online so you can just see where it is, see where the video is, just in case you don't know. And since I'm the trainer spotlight, I'm going to go through a tracking what I like my day. What I'm going to track what I did today and show you how that's used. And then we'll just keep moving on. So I'm going to share a screen with you right now. Gotta get rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna go to Pilates MN. And here we are at the website, Pilates MN. Down at the bottom here, we do discuss the MOVE program, MOVE Method for Wellbeing after the pictures. And it's a free program for healthy living. You can learn more, you can hit this, watch the video. It's both there and it's also under wellness. So if you go under wellness and hit MOVE Method, it talks about why I developed the program. Move equals M equals move. Move is the method. O equals owner. You are the owner of your body. V equals verify. You're going to verify the method with the tracker. And E equals excited. Excited to feel good. So then we put the video in. So if you want to go through the 20-minute video, you can go through it right here. It's real easy to find out what it's all about and how to use it. And then learn more about the program here. This is where the long program is. So if you click that, the whole program's right here. So you just go through action number 1, why do we move, movement, just getting to move, eating healthy. You're gonna hear from Marielle pretty quick on this. And we went through this and she helped me a lot with how to set this up, which was great. And then I love this information on sleep. So you're going to hear some good information on sleep tonight. And I'll kind of go over a few things in here with you. Then here, be mindful. This is Maria. This is her part. So you will be hearing from her on action number 4 and 5, which is also stay connected. And clean up your environment. You'll hear from Sarah on these kinds of things. So you can read through that whole program there. You go back to the program on the website. And now you'll see, also, we just showed you the MOVE method here. I'm going to go through real quick down here. This is the MOVE Zoom program. So what you will learn, and these are the things that you're learning now and some other things that we will learn. And you join the Zoom meeting. You can join the Zoom meeting here. And here are some resources. So we will have during this one, we won't obviously because we haven't read a book, but it's like a book of the month club. And you will read a book. And the first book is going to be actually Emotional Wellness that Maria is talking about. The Emotional Intelligence book 2.0 is right here. And Maria will talk about that today. All right. And then that will be, she won't talk about it. She'll tell you to read it so we can talk about it in January. Okay. And all these books you can get online on Amazon easily. We don't have them available at the studio. Someday we may, but right now just Amazon is where you can find these books if you want to be part of this. You do not have to read these books, but you will learn something about them just by listening to Move Zoom. We'll probably do that at the end of each hour, discuss the book. So if you want to stay, you can. If you don't want to stay, you don't have to. If you didn't read the book and you want to stay, that's perfectly fine too. And then The Food Therapist is the second book we'll read. So that's a really good book, and Mario will discuss that with you. And The Healing Power of Sleep is the next book that we will go through on the third month, right? I have a couple books that I really like too that I'll suggest that I enjoy reading, since I'm the spotlight today, that I'll kind of go over, I'll show you what they are. So that's the information there. Then if you go to the Move Tracker, well, first I'll go to Registered Dietitian. You'll find Marielle's information here. And should you need to email Marielle, her information is right there. And the same with the Emotional Wellness Coach. Maria's information is here, and you can contact her through this information here. And she's happy to talk to you about anything. And here's some good FAQs from her too. And then the Move Tracker. So here's the Move Tracker. I'm going to show you how you can actually download this and put it on your computer. So I download it. It's on my computer. I click it every night and I just go through it. So people have asked me before, what do you do for health? What do you do? I've always been asked that question. So really, truly, this is what I do. I try to follow these kinds of things, and I just put them in a format that I thought, okay, this might help everyone, and went over this format with these professionals that are in these fields. And they kind of agreed with all of them and said, yeah, let's try this. Let's do this. So today is the 1st, right? December 1st. So, hey, this is a perfect time for everybody to try this program. It's December 1st. You can go through a whole month, try it. We're going to ask at the end of the program, if you want to try the program, if you would do this for us for a month, so we can research a little bit and see how the program's working for you. And then we can start to reach out to other people with this program, but you're kind of like our guinea pigs because you're the first ones trying it, all right? So we will send a survey. The survey will ask you questions like, did you use the Move Tracker? Yes or no? How many days did you use it? Do you feel more responsible for your health after using the program? Yes or no? Do you feel healthier? Do you feel happier? Did you lose or gain weight? Will you continue to use the tracker? And then we'll, at the end of the spring, we'll ask if you used the Move Zoom program and how you liked it. See if it's worth keeping. We hope it is. But so here's the first, you put your name at the top, the month, and then this is the first day of the month. So today, what did I do? I moved. I did a walk / jog. I'm trying to run a little bit more. I'm learning a running program that I really like that's teaching me how to run better. And I stopped running because I thought it's a little painful, but learning this program has helped me. And so I'm kind of going back to a little bit of that just to help my bone strength, because running does help that. So I did that, and I did a little Pilates today. So I'm going to say 2. I ate a lot of veggies today. So I ate 4 cups of veggies today. I ate salad. I ate tuna with a whole lot of vegetables in it. And then at dinner, green beans. And then I ate some more salad. So I definitely got my 4 veggies in. Fruits, 2, bananas, apples. I ate those today. Proteins, I had tuna, I had some shrimp, and I had some quinoa, which has protein. I also eat, I'm good at eating nuts, so that has protein in it too. So I'm gonna say I got 2 plus maybe, so probably didn't go to 3, but I got 2. Fats, I ate a little chocolate. I do enjoy my chocolate, so I ate a little bit of that. I include my teaspoon of cod liver oil in there, so I eat that. I ate oils with the vegetables I cooked, so I definitely got my 2 there. So I put 2 there. Grains, again, I go back to the quinoa, and I ate some granola. So I'm gonna go with 2 here. I already got 65 water. I am trying to improve my water, and it is getting more improved. I slept well last night, so I did the 8 hours. Mindfulness, yes, I usually do a thankful thing daily where I think of 10 things I'm thankful for. So I did do that from the day before. Social, I was very social with my daughters here, so that's nice. And all these things that mindfulness and social, I look at it like, did I feel good doing this today? Did I do something social? Yes, I went out and I gave to Toys for Tots, and my husband and I delivered meals, and we talked to people. So I felt like that was social for me, and so I give myself a point for that. And then environmental, I'm always looking to improve the environment, so I'm going to give my points for that. And then you just add up your points, and they should be between 80 and 100 points for that day. Okay, I'm gonna guess. I'm not gonna add them right now. I'm not great at adding real fast, but anyway, so I for sure got 85 to 90 points here today. All right, so that's all you go for. And then you go down here, you do that for 30 days or 31. If you have 31, just put the numbers down by the side here. And then you keep notes if you want about what went right and how to improve week number 1 through week number 4. You can write some notes in there if you want. This is how to track your points, so your move points. So tracking is through here, and how to track your points is just read through this. It's pretty easy, just kind of what I just showed you. All right. All right, I'm gonna go out of this. So that is it. That's what's on the wellness site. If you want to share it with anybody or you want to use it yourself, we'd love to have you use it. And let me get out of that, and let me go back to stop share. Here we go. There it is. Okay, perfect. So that's how to use that program. All right. So I want to move on now, and I want to go first I want to show you what's in my refrigerator, since I am the person that you get to see the trainer spotlight. So I'm going to turn this a bit to the refrigerator. All right. What's in my refrigerator? Scary. There's not a lot today, but we kind of cleaned it out because my kids were home for the weekend. I do a lot of fruits and vegetables. Keep a lot of fruits and vegetables in here. I do a couple of fruits a day for sure, and lots of vegetables. I'm part of a CSA, a community share with a farm, and I love their produce, so I get lots of produce from them. I'm still getting it actually through 2 more weeks in December, and I get lots of squash from them, and I get spinach. I get all sorts of things that I use from them. Here's cod liver oil. Mustard's great. I love to use mustard because it has vinegar base in it, and I only use the mustards that have vinegar and mustard seed, salt, and turmeric. That's it. You got to watch labels and look at labels to make sure you're getting the ingredients you want and nothing else, sugars added or anything like that. So that's why I look at those when I'm buying different things. This apple cider vinegar with Manuka honey, really good apple cider vinegar, used for different salad dressings or whole lot of different things. I do drink kombuchas every now and then. I don't drink a lot. I found these kombuchas that I like that have only this one, 5 grams of sugar, because kombuchas can be full of sugar. So because that's how the host, the SCOBY, has to feed off sugar, but this one only has 5 grams. So I like that one. It's raspberry. I don't like Plymouth water, so I put my water in here and make it cold, and then I like it. But if it's just out of the tap, I don't like the taste. I don't know why. It's just strange for me. I do a lot of leftovers. So the other night we had a shrimp boil. It's kind of a summer thing, but that's what my kids wanted. So we had green beans, potatoes, and shrimp. You just throw it in a pan with a bag of spices, and it's done. It's great. One meal, all done. Rice, I usually use quinoa and put lots of vegetables in there when I cook. So I have my vegetables with that. I always cook extra of everything, always. So this is coleslaw. And when I make coleslaw or tuna, I put lots of yogurt in it and very little mayonnaise. If I do mayonnaise, again, I make sure that the ingredients are what I want. This is avocado oil and egg yolks. So I use just a little bit of that and mostly yogurt. And then I get some spices from like Penzeys spices and put it in there, and it makes it really flavorful. And then I put lots and lots of vegetables in tuna. So it's probably half the vegetables to have tuna. Cheeses. My favorite cheese is goat cheese, easy on the digestive system, so I use that a lot. We have feta cheese in here and like Parmesan. Parmesan's great. Nuts. Nuts in the refrigerator stay a lot, stay better. So they last longer in here, but we go through nuts so fast. So I love walnuts. They're really good for you. Coconut milk, I use that for smoothies a lot. Probiotics, I do probiotics, so I do like my probiotic pills. Freezer, lots of fish. I'm a big fish eater, so I do scallops, salmon. My husband likes to buy these. Yep. They're only 60 calories, a really good chocolate around this ice cream. So every now and then you gotta have one of those, right? Lots of frozen fruit for smoothies, which I like to do a couple times a week. So, all right. And then I've got a big nut drawer. I like nuts. So down here in my nut drawer, I like this particular one. It's all just peanuts and salt. That's all I look for, peanuts and salt. And that's not real expensive. Doesn't have to be any organic kind. It's like peanuts are coming out of the shell. So I just feel like, hey, it's a great one for peanut butter. Do a lot of raw sunflower seeds and raw pumpkin seeds. I like to also roast these myself. I prefer that I know what's in them. So if I put a little bit of oil, like I'm talking, you don't even need a teaspoon of oil, and mix it up and put it in the oven and put a little bit of salt on there, and it's great. Make my own granola with my own nuts in there. And again, I know what's in it. I know my maple syrup's in there a little bit, maybe a little bit of honey. And just don't put a lot in there. And then lots and lots of cinnamon. I love that on there too. Okay. So those are some of my secrets for trying to stay healthy. I'm saying I'm perfect, that's for sure. But we work towards that, right? I don't work towards perfect. Just have fun trying to eat the right things, all right? So next I want to go to Marielle. She's going to talk a little bit about action number 2 in the program, and she'll introduce herself to you, and she'll be our next speaker now. All right. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Just to give you a little bit of brief background, if you didn't watch the video, my name is Marielle Arostegui. I am a registered dietitian. I got my bachelor's degree at Iowa State University, and then I got my accredited hours, and I'm working on my master's degree from Mount Mary University in Milwaukee. I worked for the last 2 years in the public health field in Wichita, Kansas, and then my fiance and I moved back to Austin, Minnesota. So that's where I'm working here. And when Pam first, mentioned that she was starting out this program, I was really excited. I really wanted to get involved just because when working in the public health field, there's not a lot of just free nutrition knowledge that's really just sound knowledge out there. So I definitely wanted to get involved because this is a really awesome opportunity for you guys to put out there what you want to learn, and then for a nutrition expert like myself to give you that information. So I'm really excited for this opportunity. If there is, anything that you want to learn, anything you see on the internet, something you've been confused by, definitely let me know. Definitely let Pilates Minnesota know. I love to learn, so I'm excited to do these presentations for you each month. We'll get to learn together. What I want to do today is just kind of break down what this whole entire nutrition move program is, because there's a lot to unpack, a lot to digest. So I'm kind of highlight just the most important things that really, the things that I just kind of want you guys to take away from it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. We can talk a little bit about it. What I really want, where I want to start is just talking about the purpose of the nutrition section. The purpose is not to tell you guys what you should and should not eat. Eating is so personal. Our aim is to help you guys make your own food decisions. So by tuning in each month, our hope is that you guys will learn about food biology, how to shop, how to eat. So you're making your own decisions, and you feel good about these decisions and what you're putting into your own body. So we're just giving you the knowledge and the tools to do that yourself. And then you can also use the tracker as a way, well, twofold. You can either use it as, well, I'm going to follow this every single day and I'm going to use it to keep me accountable. Personally, I use it for myself as kind of a loose thing. Like I mentioned in the video, sometimes I'll just walk past it and be like, oh, shoot, I have not had enough water today. So it's just kind of a reminder for myself. Um, or another way you might use it as just more of a way to help you intuitive eat. Intuitive eating is something I feel really passionate about. So just to kind of give you an overview of kind of what that is letting your body dictate what you need. And when people hear that, they say, oh, well, my body's telling me I need chocolate today, so I'm gonna eat chocolate for every meal. And that's not necessarily what it is. Your body has kind of a set point, and if you really listen to it, it's going to tell you what you need at every meal, and it's going to help guide you and help you live a healthier lifestyle. So to kind of give you an example, or to help you understand this better, I would like to give you a personal example. So back when I was working in Wichita, I would come home every day, and like around 5 o'clock, I would be really hungry and really craving something chip, crackery, carby. And so while I was making dinner, I always had my hand in a box of something. So by the time I sat down for dinner, my meal was ruined because I've already, eaten something, I just ruined my meal. And I kind of wanted to fix this, but I'm not going to not eat something because obviously my body is telling me that I need carbs. My body is craving that. I'm not going to deny my body. So if I had that tracker, I probably would have used it to reevaluate. Okay, well, what am I doing wrong? Let's look at my day and see, what's off. I didn't have that tracker at the time, so I just kind of used my own knowledge, and I knew that I always have a really good solid lunch. Lunch is one of my favorite meals of the day. So I looked at my snacks. Usually my snack clinic was really busy at the time, so it would be like a hard-boiled egg or some nuts. And so obviously I didn't have enough carbs or starches present. So what I had to do was just add more carbs in at my like 3 o'clock snack. Then when I came home, my body had enough fuel to keep me going until dinner time, and I was good to go. So that's another example of how you guys could use the tracker as a way to help you guys make food decisions, or if you want to make any changes into your diet. So those are just kind of the purpose of the food tracker, and kind of the purpose of what we want to do here is just to help provide guidance and help provide accountability. The other thing I want to touch on is what works for one person may not work for another person. So if you decide to make any changes in your life right now, first make sure to, consult your doctor, consult your dietitian, but also just be really patient with yourself. It takes a lot of time to form healthy habits. Please reach out to me. I am more than willing to work with you one-on-one personally if you want to, make any big changes. But overall, really just focus on yourself and just be patient with yourself. So with that, I'd like to start with our first section, which is fruits and vegetables. There are a lot of guidelines out there about fruits and vegetables and how much you should eat, whether you look at, the CDC recommendations. What we kind of put out there is just the minimum, but we definitely encourage you to go above and beyond that. It's a food group that we all know that we need to eat more of. So what I challenge you all to do is to look at where does the barrier to your intake lay. For a lot of people, it's simply buying fruits and vegetables, getting it into your house. So we kind of put out a model of best, better, and good. So I'd like to explain that. It would be best if we could buy fresh, organic fruits and vegetables, but that's not always in people's budget. So it'd still be better if we could buy frozen fruits and vegetables. A lot of people don't know that frozen fruits and vegetables are bought at the peak nutritional quality. So it's still okay to buy those. If your grocery store doesn't have the frozen fruits and vegetables that you wanted, or maybe it's, again, not in your budget. I know when I have been going, they don't have the things that I want just because people are stocking up on it right now with COVID going on. it's still good to buy canned fresh fruits and vegetables as long as the canned is low sodium. You just wash it off a couple times, and then the fruit is in its own juices. So again, it's just better to be eating fruits and vegetables than to not make that decision. And then think about, okay, how am I going to use these fruits and vegetables? How can I actually ingest them, take them in? So another thing that we will be doing is at the end of each Zoom presentation, we will be giving out 4 new recipes, because we can get stuck in these ruts. We know those 2 good recipes. We know the 5 ingredients that we need to buy at the grocery store. We can, be like zombies and just pick them off the shelf. So what we want to do is take a load off for you and give you these recipes so you don't have to do the searching, and hopefully you'll be able to introduce some new fruits and vegetables into your household. So like I said, at the end of each Zoom presentation, we'll be sending out 4 new recipes to help just kind of add some spice into your life. So hopefully that will get some new fruits and vegetables. And then the other thing we encourage to get new fruits and vegetables into your house is just share your tips for buying them. Personally, for me, I like to buy seasonally. It keeps things a little bit more interesting. So I'm not buying bananas every single time I go to the grocery store. I would love it if you guys feel comfortable sharing what your tips for buying fruits and vegetables are, either for keeping things interesting or for keeping costs down. If you feel comfortable, I'd love to hear from anyone.
I like to buy whatever's on sale.
Yeah, that's definitely a good
Like
one.
my age, I feel like.
I do like my CSA. I do feel like, since I'm using it organic, from the farm in Rochester, that I keep the price down because I'm part of that one. So
Mhm.
Pam, do you have a CSA in the wintertime also?
this CSA goes through December. She does fall, and the fall goes all the way through
Wow,
December. Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like someone's wrote, frozen variety. Frozen gives a lot of variety. I definitely agree. Frozen keeps things interesting. Even going to farmers markets, you can definitely find lower prices there as well. Another thing that we've been doing is growing our own herbs, just because herbs can be pretty expensive. So that's another way to keep costs down and add a little interest into the things you've been cooking. So definitely encourage you guys, if you have any ideas of your own, share it with your friends, your family, or neighbors. Encourage them to eat their own fruits and vegetables. The next section we're going to be moving on to is protein. We as a nation are so concerned about protein intake, and it's really interesting because a lot of people are taking in too much protein, and a lot of people are taking in not enough protein. And protein intake is based on a lot of things, age, gender, physical activity recommendations, and people don't take enough time to actually calculate what they need to be eating. So they're either, like I said, overeating or undereating. What the MOVE program aims to do is we just actually really encourage people to eat a variety. That's at the end of the day the most important thing. You'll be surprised that just by eating a variety of different sources, you'll pretty much end up eating enough protein at the end of the day. So just to give you an example of this, I'd love to just build a breakfast with you. So let's say you just got home from the gym and you're gonna make maybe like a shake. So if you have like a Garden of Life shake, that's gonna be, and you decide to use water, you don't decide to use milk that day, that's gonna be about 22 grams of protein. Or you could, I'm a huge yogurt person, so you could do Greek yogurt. That's going to be about 17 grams of protein there for about a cup. And then if you add some pumpkin seeds to that, about 2 tablespoons, it's going to be about 3 grams of protein there. Add some chia seeds, that's about 2 grams of protein. And believe it or not, a banana has some protein in it. So that's 1 gram of protein. So that's about 23 grams of protein total. So right there, I mean, you're at the same amount, but you're gonna get a little bit more protein. You're gonna get a better bang for your buck. because it's going to be a lot more cost effective, and you're going to get so much more satiety and fullness from it because your body has to go ahead and digest all these things that you just ate rather than just chugging down a smoothie. So that's kind of an example. If we just aim for you to have a little bit more variety of your protein sources in your diet. So just the major things is just thinking about satiety and cost there. The next section I like to move on to is fats. Fats have a pretty bad reputation in the past. And I like a brief little science lesson why people are so afraid of fats. Carbs and proteins, for every gram that you eat, your body has to burn off 4 calories. For fats, for every gram that you eat, your body has to burn off 9 calories. But that's kind of the great thing about fats. They fill you up so much more, and they're so essential for your brain, your skin development, even hormone health. So it's not something that we should be afraid of, something we should definitely embrace. The key to eating fats, though, is choosing healthy sources and looking at portion sizes. We outline just some general portion sizes of fats that you should consider. It's not something that you have to live by. If your body is like, oh, I definitely feel like I need more peanut butter today, I definitely feel like I want to put more olive oil on my food today, that's okay. But it's really just important for you to have a general idea of what the recommendations of portion sizes are. So when you look at the Move Tracker, it's going to look like this, if everyone can see it. So nothing wrong with fats. They're really important for you to feel full at the end of a meal. There's a lot of debate about fats out there. Something I'm super interested in. You might hear people debating about the keto diet and what's the deal with it. What oil should we use for cooking? Even saturated fats, there's a lot of debate out there right now too. So if that's something that people are interested in, I can do a whole talk on fats. I could go on and on for hours. So another topic I'd love to talk about. The other food group that's gotten a pretty bad reputation over the years is carbohydrates, which is kind of crazy because our body needs about 45 to 66% of carbs for survival. So it's just weird that it's been deemed as an enemy food. Really, the key to eating carbs is looking for whole grains. And I know that everyone knows this, that, okay, we need to look for whole grains, but I don't think that people realize that the food industry is kind of trying to trick you a little bit, because when you look for the first ingredient as whole grains, you might often see like 7 grains, enriched flour, wheat flour, and you might think like, oh, I'm good to go. But actually, that does not mean it's whole grain. So you have to see the word whole grain to know that it is whole grain. So just to give you like a little bit of a science lesson, so the outer layer here is the bran that has all the vitamins, the minerals, and the fiber. Then the middle layer here is the starchy layer. So that's what you see when you have like white bread. Actually has a little bit of protein in it, believe it or not. And then the inner layer here is the germ, and that has vitamin E, antioxidants, and healthy fats. So if anyone ever tries to tell you that bread is bad for you, it's really not. There's a lot of benefits to it. Again, the key is choosing whole grains. And then you may be wondering, well, is there any room for desserts within the MOVE program? And we truly believe there is no shame in eating desserts. We might enjoy desserts with our friends and family, and you might enjoy it after, a long walk on a summer's day. There's nothing wrong with eating desserts. What we really want people to consider and look through on the MOVE program list is your thoughts when eating a dessert, because there's a huge shame cycle that goes through when people are consuming them. So there's a whole list of considerations, and if people are like, oh, I actually go through some of those, definitely reach out to me. If it's more of a food thing, if it's more of an emotional thing, you might want to consider reaching out to Maria, but there is no shame in eating desserts. They can be definitely awesome and definitely needed in a diet. And then something else that we outline is just tips to be healthy. There are some great tips and tricks out there. And I encourage all of you to continue to share your tips and tricks with your neighbors, your friends, your family, because that's the only way we as a nation are going to improve our health, is just to share our knowledge. Although I am an expert in the science of nutrition, you guys have all your special ways of staying healthy. So definitely share with each other, with your friends and family, how you stay healthy. One of the ways that we have been staying healthy, although now we're kind of forced to do this, is we've just been cooking at home a lot more. It's a way for us to save money, be a little bit more mindful with each other, and a way for us to just explore different countries because we can't travel right now. So we've been choosing foods from all different places that we've been intimidated to try or might not have time to try because we're going. But now we're forced to stay home so we can, try different things. I've been trying to conquer tofu, still trying, but it's been a fun exploration. So the last thing I want to touch on is how we eat. It is really important what we put in our body, but then how we put the food in our body. Life can be really overwhelming sometimes, and it's really easy to numb ourselves with some sort of media, whether it be even a book, our telephones, our TV. So what I really encourage people to do is to eat slow and then be present with your food and either those around you or just with yourself. It can be an incredible experience just to sit and be present with your food. I know it sounds really weird, but I really encourage you guys to try it. When we were going through our master's program, we actually had to unpeel an orange and eat it slowly, and it's a really good process, and you learn a lot about your whole digestive system. So I really encourage you guys just to eat slow, and be present with your food. Leptin is your satiety hormone, and when you eat distracted, it doesn't kick in as fast as it should, so it causes people to overeat. So just something to consider. So all in all, just remember that you are the owner of your own eating habits and you're responsible for your own body. So thank you for letting me talk a little bit about nutrition tonight.
Thanks, Marielle. Hey, Alex, can you unmute everybody and maybe we could get some ideas from everybody about what they might want to hear about from Marielle?
Oh, and then this is the book that we'll be talking about too. It has a little bit about has something for everyone. There's parts about, there's quizzes in here to help you kind of learn about what kind of eater you are. There's information about hormone health. There's information about although I'm not a huge fan about detoxes, it just talks about kind of how to cleanse your body. So even if you want to just read a chapter, there's kind of something in here for everyone. So it's a good book.
I did that. I like that book. And I did like the hormone health, this hormone health here. And then, there's a lot of hormones that you don't know about. And like she said, the leptin and is it the ghrelin? How do you say that? Ghrelin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was information that was really interesting too. And I've been reading about that information too, also that's in the sleep book. So I think it's real important that we start to understand our bodies and how our bodies really work inside. And I think these kind of books that we're suggesting are good ways to do that. Right. So anyway, now we're gonna have some fun because we've been talking so much, blah, blah, blah. And so Brent's gonna come on and he's gonna do a little something with you. So here's our music therapy. He's coming in now to break it up. It's halftime. And then we'll go to Maria next.
Hey,
One
everybody.
second. I'm gonna try and unmute. I'm gonna try and unmute everyone. There's a mute all button. I think everyone might have to unmute yourselves for this one.
Oh, sorry.
That'll work.
I can't unmute because you need to hear me.
Yeah, I'm just going to do some a little bit of music trivia quick. Music's important to everybody. It's part of overall wellness, and we all like music, right? Slow stuff, fast stuff, depending on what kind of mood you're in. It's always nice to listen to some music. So I got a couple questions for you guys, kind of like trivia. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Then here's the one. You guys will probably know this, probably know all these. They're not super hard, but can anybody tell me what city in the United States has the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in it?
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Nice, nice, Jill. I think you got the. You gotta get some prizes going here. That was pretty fast. You guys probably know this one too. What musician in 2016? I think it's the only one I've ever heard of that has won this, but won the Nobel Prize.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
That's right. Now, does anybody recognize?
That's right.
That's Bob right there. Anybody tell me where Bob was born, where he grew up?
Minnesota.
Hibbing.
Minnesota.
Yes, Hibbing specifically. Nice job, Minnesota. He's one of us. Okay, how about this, you guys? Can anybody name who this artist is?
You with your words like knives and swords.
Taylor Swift.
Who is it?
Against me, you.
She got it?
Taylor Swift.
Nice job. All right, I don't know if there was any 15-year-olds in the crowd, but
Whoa.
nice job, Maria.
Mentally, we all
Lucky.
are.
You're a big Taylor Swift girl too. Who doesn't like Taylor
Let George make it though.
Yeah.
George, you know all that music. Okay, I'll be back with a couple more. You guys, thanks.
All right, had to break that up. A little laugh. We're gonna laugh at the end too, right? Okay, next, let's hear from Maria. So everybody mute yourself and Maria will come on. Alex, you can't mute everybody right now?
I can mute everyone. I just can't unmute them.
Oh, mute them.
They all did it.
Oh, they did. Okay. Thanks, guys. All right, Maria, you're on.
I'm not 15, but Taylor Swift just came out with a new album and she's great. But I'm Maria. I'm one of the trainers at the studio and was really excited when Pam came to me with her MOVE program, because not only do I love to train with Pilates and with you folks out there, but I also am a social worker and I got my graduate degree in social work. I've been working in the field for about 15 years. My focus has been on anything from babies all the way up to supporting caregivers while folks are, nursing placement, things like that. So I've supported at all ages of life and stages. And so combining the two passions I have of physical wellness and then emotional wellness, and the mind-body connection is an amazing tool. And especially now when we're in the midst of this crazy world of the pandemic, we tend to have to awaken ourselves and understand where we are in this, and our emotions can really take a toll. And so especially if we can't get to the gym or we can't see our families, how are we coping with that? How are we actually doing? And sometimes it's a scary thing to turn in and recognize how we're doing. And so part of my goal here is to offer coping strategies and support in hopes of helping people check in with their selves, their emotional selves, to make sure that they're on the right track and not kind of harboring sad feelings or anxious feelings or feelings that just feel uncomfortable. And so part of my goal with the MOVE program is to talk about a specific topic every month. But if there's something that people are curious about or want to know more information about, I'm happy to take suggestions as well. For tonight, one of the things I wanted to start with was a little video about mindfulness that I'll pull up here and share my screen. So I find mindfulness in general can feel a bit intimidating. Meditation and mindfulness, when people hear it, they feel they have to do a little bit of pretzeling with their body and contort and have to sit still for a very long period of time. That's not necessarily the case. So we'll watch this brief video together, and then feel free to participate or just watch it. And if you want to have the link, I can type it in the comments so you can always go back as well. So let's see, I'll share my screen. Just let me make sure I have it pulled up. One moment. Okay. Okay, so let's watch this together. It's about 5 minutes. There's a bing in the beginning, it's a little loud.
Since you're watching this video, I'll bet you want to meditate, but don't have time. Maybe you've tried to meditate, but had some trouble. Maybe you had a wonderful experience meditating over there, but just can't find that same feeling over here. Well, my name is Marty Borison, and in this video, I'm going to introduce you to the technique of one-moment meditation. Then you can meditate whenever you need to. Like when you're feeling stressed, or feeling angry. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, or you're feeling anxious, or you just need a new idea. Although one-moment meditation is ultimately about meditating in a moment, we're going to start with a minute. We start with a minute because a moment goes by so quickly that it's very hard to notice. But a minute is like a moment with handles on it. You know where it begins and where it ends, so it's easier to grasp. If you're ready, we'll do the basic minute now. You might want to shut the door, or at least tell people you're not available for the next minute. You don't have to tie yourself in knots for this. Just sit with your legs planted firmly on the floor. Try to sit up straight, but don't be rigid. It's as if your head were being lifted up away from the weight of the world. Think of it as cosmic traction. Now put your hands in any position that's balanced, symmetrical, and still, like this, or like this. During the minute, simply focus on your breathing, moment by moment. Of course, even in the space of a minute, you will get distracted. That's perfectly normal. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. But as soon as you notice that you're distracted, just think, and bring your mind back to your breathing. I'll ring a bell so you know when to start and when to finish. Ready? Then close your eyes. Oh, one more thing. It's okay to smile. And go. As you open your eyes, notice how you feel right now. Maybe a little bit refreshed, a little bit more awake, a little bit more open-minded. Not bad for a minute. And the more you do it, the better it gets. But please don't ever do the basic minute for longer than a minute. Don't be macho about it. Because the point of the basic minute is to show you that you can make a meaningful change in your state of mind quickly. So if you do it for longer, you're cheating. With one-moment meditation, you can also learn how to do the portable minute, which is very useful when you're standing in line, on a train, or stuck in a boring meeting. You can also learn the bonus minute, the surprise minute, and the emergency minute. With one-moment meditation, you can also learn how to reduce the length of the basic minute step by step until it only takes a moment. And when you can meditate in a moment, your whole day can be filled with meditation. because it takes no time at all.
Wasn't that guy cute? Little stick figure. So I guess one of the reasons why I really love that video is it's really not intimidating to start, and they put parameters around it. So you know when it starts and when it ends, and it's just a basic focus on your breath. So whatever worry is kind of clouding your thoughts, it allows you to have a moment of clarity or just some deep breaths where you can collect them again. And I believe it takes about 60 seconds to shift your thinking. So to be able to just sit with that and breathe into that is a powerful thing to be, especially if you're stuck in a hard spot where if your kids are yelling or if you're working with somebody that is, you know, there's an argument, taking a moment just to breathe is really powerful. So it's just one coping strategy. There's different types of breath work that we can do. And it connects with Pilates too, because when you're doing work with Pilates, it's important to use your breath and be present. Same with mindfulness. It's really important to focus on your breath, especially when you feel like your heart start to race a little bit. The way to get your heart to calm down is through your breath. So one of the other things I wanted to touch on are the action items that I will be focusing on every month, and that will be action item number 4 and action item number 5. So the first one is to be mindful. Again, that's like the breath work. That's also in the description, and that's what I'm looking at here. It talks about what different breath work, and so I'll focus on one of those, like box breathing. Could be the next month, just different types of breath work, but also types of mindfulness is journaling, going outside and going for a walk. Another technique about being mindful, just a strategy quick, is if you're feeling anxious, finding the colors of the rainbow. So if you're out on the walk and picking out colors just to bring yourself back to the present. I think especially now more than ever, focusing on the immediate is helpful versus on the past or the future. So in the present moment, and finding the rainbow in the colors you see helps you come back to the present. The other part is the social part, action item number 5. And that is that's a hard one, but also knowing yourself is the most important. So staying connected. Some people actually would prefer not to go to big parties or see a lot of people, and would rather have a couple of close friends and do a Zoom, and that would be social to them. And so it's understanding what is social to you and defining yourself within your own space versus thinking about how the other people feel social. So making sure to do that. So that kind of ties directly into this book, the Emotional Intelligence book that we'll be kind of reviewing next month. It is an amazing book, and a lot of business organizations have their employees read this book. And so when you read it, you'll find it's definitely focused on a business perspective, but you can pull a lot of goodness from it because it asks you to take a test about yourself at the end of the book, and you take the test, and then they ask you'll get your results of the areas that you excel at or the areas you need improvement at. It'll give you suggestions for improvement, and then you retake the test in 6 months to see if your answers have changed. So I'm just going to read a little part for you that I thought was interesting. And it says, the plates of life are constantly spinning above you. You juggle projects at work, never-ending meetings, bills, errands, emails, phone calls, text messages, chores, meals, time with friends and family. The list goes on. It takes great amount of attention and focus to keep the plates from crashing to the ground. And so the way to not allow them to do that is to know and set boundaries for yourself, and to know and be aware of where your strengths are. And you know, I'm the person that can multitask with 4 or 5 things. If it's past 5, everything crashes to the ground. And so I know that. So this book helps you realize where your strengths are. So I would definitely recommend that. And so again, I will be doing different topics every month, and like that will probably go out in the next month of what we're going to talk about. But if you guys have questions, or if you have suggestions about things you want to talk about emotional wellness, please shoot us an email. Pam showed you how to find my contact information online, and I'm always available to help, or if you have questions in general about personal stuff that you want to talk about, let me know about that too. If you're up for that. Other than that, thanks for listening, and this book is amazing. Get the book. So good.
Thanks, Maria.
Yep.
That's good. I think Martha, you're with us. She's the one that turned me on to this book, and we all did it. We did do this. It's a book that a lot of corporations use, and they read it, and it just kind of helps us. After we read it, we took a test and we figured out what we need to work on, and we all talked about that in the studio, and so that was fun. So thanks, Martha. Next, I want to go over segment number 3, I believe, action number 3, and that is sleep. Sleep's super important. So I want you to read that segment. What sleep does while you're sleeping is amazing. So read that segment. It tells you what it does while we're sleeping and all the different stages and what happens in those different stages. I'm not going to read it all to you. It's not a huge part, but do read that. What I am going to do is play kind of a fun video for you to listen to really quick that I like. So again, it's a listening thing, so everybody gets to listen to. We have a famous person here with us today, and he's actually on the Calm app. So the Calm app is a good way for mindfulness too. So I use a Calm app sometimes, and this is part of it. So this is 7 minutes long. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I'm gonna play parts of it. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit. So here he is.
Hey, this is LeBron James, and today I want to share one of my main ways I stay healthy. And I'm talking about fitness on all levels: physical, mental, and emotional. A while back, I was being interviewed about my training regimen. And the interview guy asked me, LeBron, what's the one thing that's become most important for your health as you've gotten older? And my response wasn't the kind of thing that you might expect. It wasn't hot yoga or Pilates. It wasn't hydration or nutrition. It wasn't the cryotherapy I do after workouts or the Normatec boots or the hyperbaric chamber. All that stuff is important, don't get me wrong. But the thing I prioritize above everything else is sleep. There's nothing more valuable to my body, to my recovery, to my career, and even just my happiness than sleep. What's crazy is the most powerful thing you can do for your health is also the most natural thing you can do. Let's say someone comes to you and say, hey, I've invented a magical energy drink, and this drink has the power to totally heal your body. It's going to balance your emotions and put you in a better mood. It recharges your mind and makes you more creative and productive. It's going to boost your immune system so you'll hardly ever get sick. Matter of fact, it'll probably tack 20 years onto your life. Oh, and by the way, all those benefits are scientifically proven. Oh, and by the way, it's free. Only catch is, it takes about 8 hours to kick in. If that drink existed, are you picking up a bottle? I'd be having a crate of that stuff drop shipped to my front door. But it does exist. That's exactly what sleep does. The challenge is, I'm half awake. Early on in my career, sleep is something I would compromise sometimes. But I've learned over the years that there's nothing more important. Sleep is like a resource that I protect at all costs. So let me take you inside my sleep habits to give you a sense of how I make it a top priority. The first step is my sleep hours are scheduled. I make sure I get those minimum 8 hours, minimum. And I have a 2-hour nap every day as well. If you're not a professional athlete, the nap might seem extreme. But don't compromise those 8 hours. And when I say sleep hours are scheduled, I'm saying literally, me and my trainer put it on my calendar, the same way I would schedule conference calls or dentist appointments. Everything works backwards from that schedule. My meals, training, free time. I make sure the temperature is optimal for the game. So with the start time at 1 p.m., my whole schedule shifts. I went to bed early the night before, to get a full night's sleep. And I woke up at 6 a.m. that day, so I could still fit in my nap before the game. Like I said, everything works backwards from my sleep. Another thing that's important is the environment. I try to create a sanctuary with no distractions. I spend a lot of time on the road, so I often sleep in hotel rooms. But even though my surroundings change night to night, the sleep conditions don't change. I make sure the temperature is optimal. For me, it's 68 to 70 degrees. I make sure the room is completely dark. I use blackout curtains to block out the natural light. I put a towel over anything else that emits light, like a clock or electronic devices. Obviously, a comfortable bed is critical. I open up the Calm app, find my Rain on Leaves, and I'm good. Something else that's important is turn off all electronics 30 to 45 minutes before I go to sleep. No phones, no iPad. It's tempting to lie there flipping through social media before you go to bed. Disrupt my sleep. It's like my bedtime.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear that all right? Super important. Now, professional athletes, they have, they're working out a lot. So yeah, he takes those 2-hour naps and he probably gets that 2 hours in so he can get a full sleep cycle. So read about that information and why you want a full sleep cycle and how many sleep cycles we go through during a night and why it is important to get those, for sure 7. And like he said, 8 is even more optimal. So to get those, and you don't want to go over that either. And so naps aren't necessary for somebody like us, but for him, I understand that. I used to, when I was even training for, I was on the Reebok performance team, the Timberwolves team. We train a lot, and I wondered why I was so tired all the time. And it's because it was training, I just needed to sleep more. So that's why those athletes really need to get their sleep. So read that section, that's super important. Next, I want to go over some environmental health. So I'm going to introduce you to Sarah. Sarah will be on next. Hello, Sarah. You there?
I'm here. I'm here. Hi. So I'm Sarah. I'm passionate about Pilates, and I'm also a green living coach. And I do education on recycling, composting, and plastic-free alternatives. And we're going to focus on recycling. I'm a Hennepin County master recycler, and I'm always happy to share my knowledge. I'm always happy to answer questions. Julie texts me on a regular basis. So what do I do with this? What do I do with that? And I just love that. So tonight we're just going to talk briefly. It's really hard for me to do a crash course on recycling, but I'm going to do my best. Number one, it's really important to understand that just because you personally think something should be recycled, that you can put it in the recycling. That's called wish cycling. And it's far better to err on putting it in the garbage than making yourself feel better. We all feel really good when we roll our recycling down to the end of the curb because we've done a good thing, but we have not done a good thing if we've put the wrong items in your recycling. So again, err to the garbage. We're really lucky in the Twin Cities. If you travel around the country, not everywhere recycles everything that we can. We have really good markets here because something is recyclable only if your hauler can take it, sort it, and sell it to somebody else. So if there's no market for it, it cannot be recycled, and that's the reason why. Okay, here's my crash course. So number one, whatever you recycle, it must be clean. It must be rinsed out. Starting with plastics, there are numbers in the little triangle through step. You will see things are recyclable in area. What you can recycle are number 1s, number 2s, and number 5s. That's it. 1s, 2s, and 5s. 1s, and you'll see number 1 plastics. Number 2s are generally colored plastics. This is some fish oil. This is some conditioner. These are number 2s. They can be recycled. No 3s, no 4s, and number 5s. You'll see your deli containers are number 5s, your yogurt containers are number 5s, and they are all recyclable if they are clean. The unfortunate thing is we get a lot of fast food and takeout in different numbers on. There is no market for black plastic. They don't know what to do with it. So black plastic goes in the garbage. Again, this has a number 5 on it, but this goes in the garbage, your black plastic. Okay, let's move on to cardboard. So it takes time, but you need to break your cardboard down from your box that you get. You need to make it flat. If you just put a whole box in your recycling, it's going to fly right off of their conveyor belts, and it's going to end up in landfill. So you might as well break it down or throw it away, because if it's not flat, it will not get recycled. Newspapers, obviously, magazines, catalogs, junk mail, all that can be recycled. For glass, you can only recycle glass beverages or food containers. You cannot recycle broken glass or household glass, or if you break a glass, it has to be something that food came in, because it's a different type of glass. Aluminum, obviously your cans, please clean them out. And aluminum, they have really good prices. So choose aluminum can over glass if you have a choice for a product, because they can sell this for more money. I could go on and on. Milk cartons are recyclable. Milk cartons, keep the tops on. This is called a Tetra Pak. This is chicken broth. Keep the tops on. And I didn't mention with your glass, this has a plastic cap, and this has, they're both glass. On just the crash course, leave the tops on and throw them away, or put them in recycling, excuse me. So never, ever, ever bag in recycling. Do not collect your cans and your bottles in your kitchen in a plastic bag and then tie it up and put the whole plastic bag in your recycling. Because when it gets to the recycling center, they're not going to take time to open it up. They're going to say there's trash, and then they're just going to throw it into the landfill, throw it into trash. The more mistakes we make costs us, because the recyclers, they get fined if they take too much of their recycling and it ends up in landfill. So it's really good for us to do it right the first time. Now there's another way to recycle, and I call that my bag of bags. I'm standing in a sea of trash right now. It's pretty funny. But this is something that I keep in my house, and I just collect plastic that you can stretch with your finger. This can go to in-store recycling. So I personally go to Lowe's. You can do it at Target or Cub or Lund's. Sometimes during COVID, some of them are gone. But basically, anything that you, like your toilet paper wrapper, your newspaper sleeve, this is from dinner rolls, even though it's colored, it's clean, and I can stick my thumb through it, that you can put that into your bag of bags. And Amazon, these particular Amazon packages, they say right on, they can go into this clear plastic, which goes to the store drop-off. What cannot go there is, like, this is from a sleeve from Flowers, and it's crinkly. You can hear it. You can't really stretch it out. Unfortunately, it has a number 5 chasing arrow on it. So you'd think it's recyclable, but it's not. There's a whole bunch of exceptions, but basically Flowers, I buy a ton of Flowers at Trader Joe's. They're not recyclable, any of those things. So holiday packaging, just to recap talked about. We're all getting tons and tons of deliveries. We're getting them in cardboard boxes. Break down the boxes. If there's peanuts in there or styrofoam in there, put that in the garbage. Companies are starting now to use cornstarch base peanuts. We can talk about that another time with composting, but those would go composting. If you get bubble wrap, you can put the bubble wrap in what I call bag of bags for store drop off. If you get those air pillows, there's kind of compartments of air, just kind of puncture them all, make it flat, and then you can put that into your store drop off. Wrapping paper is school basic with no glitter, no foil, no nothing. You can put it in recycling. But again, air, if you don't know, if you're wrapping paper, just put it in the garbage. Tissue paper, garbage. It is not recyclable. And here's another, there's always exceptions, but the more that you know why, then maybe you can make your own decision. So here's an Amazon recycle this mail just like a box. Okay, so Amazon ships nationwide. They don't know what we do here in Minnesota, but if you look at the inside of this, it's got these little pillows. This cannot be recycled like a box because it's too different. It just can't. It's not a box. So how is that, Pam? I have so many samples here, but I just thought I
Go get Sarah.
There's a couple questions. Do we want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay. There was one about like the glass bottles. Do you need to let them dry before you put the caps on and throw them in there?
That's not important, just as long as there's not food in it.
Okay.
Good question.
And then do you need to remove the labels from the Amazon envelopes that you get?
In a perfect world, yes. Yeah, in a perfect world.
And then Martha was asking, does this change by state and their market and the production?
Absolutely. We are really, really lucky here in Minnesota. And even, yeah. So you go to some places, they don't recycle anything. But for the Midwest, we do really well.
So Sarah, like I have this ground cinnamon here, and I washed it out, right? And, and it says number 1, I think.
Perfect.
So number 1 goes, do I put the lid on and then put it in?
Yes, that works.
Okay. Yeah. The same with that little thing. This like, there's nothing on this. This is like a Trader Joe's coffee thing. That can't go. There's nothing there. It's like a foil inside, it looks like.
Is that illy? No, what is that? Is that a tin?
Trader Joe's coffee.
Board, or is it all metal?
It's metal, so that can't go, right?
Is it all tin? Yeah, that should be fine.
Really?
Just rinse it out. Mm-hmm.
Okay, even if it doesn't say anything on the bottom?
Yeah, well, yeah, because you don't have those numbers on our cans. We don't have those numbers. Those numbers are on our plastics.
Oh, okay. And then like this says number 1, so this can go with the lid on, right? And I washed it out. Lid on. And then that little plastic thing in there, can that go inside there?
No, that's garbage.
All right.
That's a different kind of plastic.
Okay. And one thing that Sarah introduced me to was composting. And so we use Randy Sanitation now, and they have blue compost bags. And I have my blue compost bag over there, so all my food goes in there, which is great. And all of those the towels you use for washing your hands at the studio, they all go into a bag and they're all sent to our compost here, and they just stick them in there, and we send them off every week, just so you know. For helping me.
So I would love to do a thing on compost, because in 1 year, in January of 2022, all of Hennepin County cities will have to provide curbside composting for their residents that are in single family homes and dwellings 4 and under.
Oh, that's great.
So that we'll all have the opportunity to do it at our curb.
That would be great. Do compost time for that. That would be wonderful.
I have a quick question for Sarah, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Randy's has been bought. What's going to happen with that
Nothing. It'll be, they'll still have to compost because, as I said, all municipalities will have to provide curbside composting. So they should still, it's more of a money thing.
Okay.
Very close ties with them. They answer a lot of questions for me, so I should be fine. And if you want to sign up for composting, if you guys have any questions at all, you can get my contact information from the studio. Again, I love to educate people because it just helps us all in the long run.
Great. Thank you, Sarah.
Yep.
So now I just want to see if any, go ahead and unmute yourself if you have questions, and if you want to hear anything. This went longer than we thought. The first one's going to do that. We'll try and keep them to an hour. But right now, if you do have thoughts about how you felt this went, or what you want to hear in the next program, please unmute and let us know, or type them in. No, nothing, no thought.
I have something.
Yes.
For right now, it's for Sarah because I have trouble remembering everything and I want to do my part. And if you have any printouts that I can hang on an inside of my cupboard, that would be really helpful to know what you were just talking about.
Okay. And you can get them from Hennepin County. I mean, I can pass them on too, or depending on who your hauler is, they should have what they accept specifically. Because if your hauler is different than waste, you know, my hauler, it might vary just a little bit. Because again, every hauler has to sell what they collect. So if they're not able to sell what Randy's can sell, then they're going to do something a little.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else want to add before we go and we get Brent on to do our last little thing?
I thought it was really good information, Pam.
Did you like it? Thanks, Pam.
Yeah, very much.
Oh, good. It was fun to put together. Took some time, but we're kind of now on the road, and we would love to have you get other people involved. If you know any organizations that's like, hey, we should all get the whole organization to listen in on this, then by all means, get them out there, get them on, let them be a part of this program. Again, the books are something that's you can order on Amazon. The resources are on there, and we'll do the book club at the end of the hour. So that way we get our information in that we want to get in. We'll always tell you before in January, who's going to be on next. Like Molly will be our trainer spotlight. She's also going to be doing a course on headaches and neck, and she'll be doing some self work you can do, not on this course, but she'll be talking about it as a trainer spotlight, and we'll do it in January at some point on a Zoom program too, but that will be mid-January. Okay, but she'll explain it, and we'll put it in a newsletter and tell you when that course will be, and you can sign up using your membership, or if you're on the $125, hopefully we're open in January. We'll see. I actually get to talk with the governor on Thursday. Okay, so that is it, and we're gonna have Britt come on and do one more little music therapy for us. All right, he's back.
Hey, I'm back. Hey guys, this will be pretty quick. I know everybody's been hanging around for a long time. These gonna get a little progressively harder. So the first one, you should take your mutes off. You gotta let me know if you know the answer. Yeah, the first thing would be, which pop superstar debuted his signature moonwalk in 1983?
Michael
Jackson.
Nice job, Joe. I got that. Okay, then here's a little song. You guys got to tell me what movie soundtrack this song's from. Ready? Yes. Nice job. How about anybody tell me who sang the song?
Olivia Newton-John.
Yep, and John Travolta, exactly. How about anybody? What year was this movie released? Anybody know?
1982.
Pretty close. Before that. 78. I remember that because it's one of my favorite movies all the time. I love that movie.
Yep, you were.
Okay, one more. Last one. Can anybody tell me, this is kind of hard, what band wrote this song and who's singing it? This is a different artist singing it, but what band wrote it and who's singing it? What's the name of the song, too? It's going to kick in right now. What band wrote it?
It's the Beatles singing it, isn't it?
Michael Jackson singing
Michael
it.
Jackson singing. Who wrote it?
Beatles.
Jill, you're right, the Beatles. And I think that's it.
Wow.
Right, guys. That's my part. That's my part. See ya.
Nice.
All right, guys, that is our program for the day, the night. Thank you for hanging in there. That was long, but we will shorten it up next time and we'll make sure it stays an hour. We had a lot to throw at you at this time. So again, any more questions, let us know. You can email us. You can tell me right here if you want.